Yo, Jazz, we ready to go? Let's get it. I want you to say it with me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Life of List.
Let's go.
Don't let this moment past you. Grab you a pen in the pad. Life is moving too fast. Slow down, live you a life of list. Don't let this moment past you. Grab you a pen in the pad. Life is moving too fast. Slow down, live you a life of list.
Yo. Thank you so much for hitting that play button. I really appreciate it. Listen, I want to stop and I want to slow down and say thank you. Thank you for chiming in. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for listening. All the cool things. I don't, as a person that puts out content, I just want to say thank you. There's nothing more pleasing and uplifting when people listen and people comment, and I get text messages and inboxes, like people slide into the DMs and they let me know that they've been encouraged. Like, I really want you all to absorb this thank you. I really appreciate it. I want to say thanks to Possibilities for hosting this. Thank you, Paradigm Shift, for powering it. Thank you to Santiago and Jazz. I really appreciate your partnership. There's nothing more that I could say or do besides extending my gratitude. So you get all the gratitude and I appreciate it. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. I think every 2 or 3 episodes, I just let people know that this podcast is based on a book. So the book is called My Life of List. And if you don't have it, you can find them on Amazon, or you can jump in the chat section of this podcast, or you can reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, LinkedIn, like all the areas. You can reach out to me and I will make sure that you get a book. No one will be left behind on the Life of List journey. I promise you. All right, let's dive in. Today is called Mentorship, but you know I can't jump in without first going back. Now listen, mentorship has been a very vivid, hefty, integral part of my development as a human. I talk all the time about the big red truck and my dad going up and down the street, picking kids up, throwing them in the back of the truck, taking them down to the community center, washing their clothes, feeding them, teaching them a sport, taking them back home. Like, this was the life that we lived. My dad coached and he taught, and he was a father to people who didn't have fathers present. And he was a second dad to people who already had fathers. And he just really stood in the gap. And there's something that mentors do. Mentors stand in the gap. Shout out to Les Thomas, right? 3 levels of influence: up, out, and down. That's a mentorship model. Shout out to Jonathan Veal, who's a mentor. Shout out to the Bridge Impact Center with Marcus Jackson. Shout out to Saving Black Boys with Quentin with Stop the Violence. Shout out to FACT, which is the Oklahoma City Police Department. Shout out to all these people that are mentoring here in my city and the world beyond. I see you, and the work is hard. Shout out to ReverbMentoring.com. Go check it out. Lots of opportunity to get plugged in. Now, why is mentorship so important? What is the value of having a human that has gone through it, reaching back and pulling a human through the same experiences? Why is that important? It's important because you can save someone time, mistakes, embarrassment, money, errors. Like, you can literally wormhole them through life by connecting with them and sharing your experiences. One of the things that I'm gonna give you 3 things that I hate hearing. I despise hearing. I dislike hearing from people who say they want to mentor, but they don't. Number 1 is, I'm not perfect. Woo-wee. If I can tell you the number of mentors right now who are extremely flawed, I feel confident in saying 100%. The percentages are in your favor. In fact, I would almost be willing to say the more transparent you are with your flaws, the better mentor you can be. Wow, that's good. The more transparent, the more honest you can be, the more reflective and insightful and the shareability of your story, the more you can tap in and lean into that, the better mentor you can be. I do not like hearing people say, well, I'm not perfect. Number 2, people say, I don't know how to mentor. Well, the very first rule of mentoring is showing up. That's the very first thing. Show up. What happens when you show up? The person that you're mentoring will tell you what they need and how they want to be mentored. When you show up, you will partner with other mentors who will share with you mentoring tips. When you show up, you are doing something most likely that other people have not done for that mentor already. And if they do have a life of people who show up, then they're going to value your presence as well. So when people say, I'm not perfect and I don't know how, number 3 is, I don't have time. Oh, if this microphone had a neck, I would grab it around the neck and I would just shake it. And I'd be like, you're killing me, Smalls. What do you mean you don't have time? You got time. You got time. If you got 5 minutes, you got time. If you got time to eat, you got time to mentor. If you got time to sleep, you got time to mentor. If you got time to take a poop, you got time to mentor. If you scrolling social media, you got time. If you got time to go on listen, one of the cool things about my guy, Waylon Cubitt here in Oklahoma City, is that he will double up time to mentor. That means if he's got a mentee that he has not connected with, then he'll take that mentee on something that he's doing already. Yo, I got to cut my grass. Go get the weed eater. Yo, I got to go watch my grandson play basketball. Roll with your boy. Yo, we going out to eat. Come pull up a chair. Have a seat. Yo, I got to clean my pool. Let's ride. Yo, I'm going out of town. Come roll with your boy. Waylon Cubitt, master mentor extraordinaire, is one of my guys. When it comes to mentoring, he's the dude. Go look him up. Police officer, look him up. Work with Oklahoma City public schools, look him up. 3610.org.com, go look him up. 2610, sorry. This guy is somebody who's a master mentor. And one of the things that he does well is that he doubles up his personal schedule with his mentorship schedule. So when you tell me you don't know how to mentor, you're not perfect, and you don't know what to do, and you don't have time, I've removed all of those obstacles. And so now I invite you, dear person with no experience, dear person with no time, dear person to come into the mentorship fold. Why is it important? I said this a few minutes ago. When we reach back, when we reach out, when we reach down and we grab the hand, the life, the soul, the spirit, the heart, the trust of another human being, and we pull them up to where we are, we can literally wormhole their life past a few potholes, past a few experiences. And this is the cool thing, is that you can be a general mentor or you can be a specific mentor. So say you a mentor that you don't want to talk about life experiences or you don't want to talk about all the mushy stuff, but you are a professional in an area. We can find you somebody that you can mentor in that area only. Now, if I know mentorship like I know mentorship, you'll start out talking about engineering. You'll start out talking about sports. You'll start out talking about how to fade a haircut, and you'll end up talking about life. Why? Because it's all intertwined. There are no silos in mentorship. There are no silos. You want to talk to me about being a husband? That's cool. Well, I can't talk to you about being a husband without talking about communication, without talking about integrity, without talking about honesty. I can't talk to you about being a husband without talking about commitment and selflessness and love languages. I can't talk to you about being a husband without talking about partnership and preferring somebody else over myself. I cannot talk to you about that without talking to you about the other. You want to talk to me about football? I can't talk to you about football without talking about being a good teammate and holding down your responsibility and doing your homework and being in game day ready position. I cannot talk to you about one thing without talking about life because it's all intertwined. When people say ball is life, it is. Ball is life. The unfortunate thing is that the ball can just be ball, but not with a mentor, not with somebody that has your best interest in mind. So why am I an advocate for mentor? One, because I've seen the impact that it has on others. When you do the thing that you say you don't know how to do, which is show up, when you just, I can tell you, I've seen kids cry at the sporting events just watching their mentors show up and watch the game. They just show up. If you got a kid who's a rapper, you know the best way to support that kid? Buy a CD. I say buy a CD like this was the 90s. Go ahead and download that song. Whatever it is, like the best way that you can is to show up and do the thing. It's to show up. You got somebody who loves working out? Go work out with them. Show up. Be transparent and honest with the life that you've lived. Mentoring is not difficult. The concept of mentoring is not difficult. Relationship, when you get invested and you start attaching your life to theirs, that can be hard and it can be sticky. But the concept of mentoring, of showing up, of being honest and transparent, that part of making time, that part, simple concept. It's not difficult. Carrying it out sometimes can be. What they talk about is not, it's not, it's simple, it's not easy, that like that whole situation. Yeah, that. Okay, listen, y'all done got me on my high horse and I'm sorry, but I'm an advocate for mentorship. If you want to know how to get involved, where to get involved, I don't care if I'm not even in your city and you listening to this, at a quick Google search, I can promise you there's a way to get involved wherever you are. Church, you can, if you are a corporate person or a business person, then your company, your corporation, your organization is probably attached to somebody that will allow you to come in and mentor. And I'm not just talking about mentoring kids. I'm talking about peer-to-peer mentorship. I'm talking about professional mentorship. I'm talking about interest-specific mentorship. There's a way to connect your life to somebody else. And I think that is when we are the most fulfilled. When we are connecting our lives to somebody else, when we're sharing our experiences, when we're doing this thing, where we're walking out life together, that's when life is best lived. That's when I believe that we're the most fulfilled, when we're connected to others. And one effective way of connecting to others is through mentorship. Go do it. Don't be afraid. Be selfless. Chime in now. Hit me up. If you don't want to do the work initially and you need somebody to do it for you, I'll get you in. Mentorship, so important. Get involved. Thanks again for listening to another episode of My Life of List, hosted by yours truly, Derek Sire, powered by Paradigm Shift, recorded in the Possibility Studios. Signing off until next time.
Don't let that small moments pass you. Grab you a pen and a pad. Life is moving too fast. Slow down, live you a life of list.